by far one of my favorite Pokemon villains. Heck, one of my favorite villains of all time, Giovanni. And there's a reason that he is so. Giovanni is the big boss of Team Rocket, an underground crime syndicate that nearly had the entire Kanto region under their boots, and Giovanni is the reason they almost had full control over it. If not for a certain 10-year-old future champion, that is. Team Rocket are a band of Pokemon thieves, poachers, traffickers, and are pretty much the Pokemon equivalent to the Yakuza overall. So no doubt Giovanni had to be the most ruthless of them all to lead and demand the loyalty of such an organization. But to be one of the biggest crime bosses in the history of the Pokemon world, that pretty much requires such a man to be one of the strongest trainers out there. He's a former gym leader to the Viridian City Gym, where he commanded many powerful ground-type Pokemon. For Smash, the 3 Pokemon I've chosen to give him would be the Drill Pokemon Rhydon, the other Drill Pokemon Nidoking, and the parent Pokemon Kangaskhan. All 3 Pokemon that we quite commonly see him with. In terms of how the 3 Pokemon would work mechanically, since they're all built the same in terms of body type, they'd feel the same for the most part, with all of them being able to deal strong blows while also being rather slow, heavyweight fighters that would have a lot of end lag with the majority of their attacks. They would only have slight variations, with those variations being based off their in-game stats. Rhydon would be the strongest but the slowest, Kangaskhan would be the weakest of the 3 but the fastest, and Nidoking would be in the middle. All 3 of them would only have 2 jumps, and Nidoking would be the only one with an additional movement option, being able to crawl. Rhydon's jab would be a single strong punch, much like Ganondorf's jab. Nidoking would do a quick 1-2 punch, and Kangaskhan would have a 1-2 punch that can lead into a rapid jab of punches, as if it were using the attack Comet Punch. Rhydon's dash attack would be a slow to start, slow to end lunging tackle while it holds its horn straight forwards, with the sweet spot of this attack obviously being on the horn. Nidoking would do a quick shoulder tackle, and Kangaskhan would do a dashing jump kick, similar to Bowser's dash attack. Rhydon's side tilt would have it do a quick stomp right in front, similar to King K. Rool's down tilt, but it wouldn't be able to bury foes. Nidoking would do a quick vertical swipe from its horn from low to high, and Kangaskhan would do a quick palm thrust, which gives it a little bit of forward distance. Rhydon's up tilt would be a vertical upward stab with its horn while its horn spins, being able to deal multiple hits before launching them with the last hit. Nidoking would do a quick upward swipe with one of its arms from front to back, and Kangaskhan would do a quick bite upwards that would have it pull down real quick to the side. Rhydon's down tilt would have it do a quick low to the ground horn stab while its horn spins, another attack that could hit multiple times. Nidoking would do a quick spinning tail swipe, and for Kangaskhan, this would be the first attack that involves the baby in its pouch. While Kangaskhan crouches, the baby would get out of the pouch and stand under the mother's chin. For the down tilt, the baby would run forwards pathetically flailing its arms before the mother pulls it back in her panic when she sees what it's doing. The flailing will deal small flinching damage, being able to slightly trap foes with bad DI, and the mother pulling the baby back to her will deal the big launching damage, effectively making this move a makeshift 2-hit attack. For side smashes, Rhydon would slam both arms into the ground in front vertically from high to low, as if it were using the attack Hammer Arm. Nidoking would do a barrage of punch swings straight forward, slightly moving forward as it does, as if it were using the attack Thrash. And Kangaskhan would do a basic straight horizontal punch, as if it were using Mega Punch. Rhydon's up smash would have it spawn a bunch of rocks above itself that fall all around it, as if it were using the attack Rock Slide. This move would have some decent vertical range, but the hitboxes on the rocks would be a little erratic, and it would have a lot of end lag. Nidoking would do a strong horn swipe overhead from front to back, and Kangaskhan would do a quick overarching uppercut. Rhydon's down smash would have it punch the ground, causing 2 rock spikes to protrude on both sides of it at a slight angle, as if it were using the attack Stone Edge. Nidoking would jump up and slam its feet into the ground, causing a small quake around it that hurts any foe on the ground next to it, similar to Charizard's down smash. And Kangaskhan would do a quick spinning low kick sweep. For neutral airs, Rhydon would spin its head in a wide circle, with the sweet spot of this attack being on its horn. Nidoking would just spin in a single curled up circle, just like Charizard's neutral air, with the strongest part of this attack coming from the spine on its back. And Kangaskhan would take the baby out of its pouch and swing it in a near 360 circle while the baby kicks. Rhydon's forward air would have it stab forwards with its horn. Nidoking would do 2 quick kicks straight forward with each foot one after the other, as if it were using the attack Double Kick. And Kangaskhan would do a vertical punch from high to low, capable of spiking, similar to Mario's forward air. Rhydon's back air would have it swing its tail a single time backwards from low to high. Nidoking would also just swing its tail for its back air, but it would swing it horizontally and it would come out a lot faster. And Kangaskhan would do a quick uppercutting turnaround punch. Rhydon's up air would have it do a front to back upwards horn swipe, similar to Bowser's up air. Nidoking would do a quick backflip, having its tail swing upwards from forwards to back, and Kangaskhan's up air would have it do a quick stretching upwards headbutt, similar to King K. Rool's up air. And for down airs, Rhydon would fly straight down with his body open, as if it were using Body Slam. Nidoking would do a quick spiking double kick downwards, and Kangaskhan would do a quick swinging punch downwards from back to front. Rhydon and Nidoking would grab with just one arm, and Kangaskhan would grab with both arms. Rhydon's pummel would have it smack the foe with its horn, its forward throw would have it punch the foe forwards, its back throw would have it snag the foe on its spinning drill, then toss him overhead backwards, its up throw would be a variation on the move Smackdown. It would toss the foe into the air, then spawn a rock in its hand that it throws at the tossed foe, sending them even higher. And its down throw would just have it pick the foe up overhead, then slam them very hard into the ground. Nidoking's pummel would have it just bite the foe, its forward throw would have it do a quick spin with the foe in hand, then toss them when it completes the spin. Its back throw would have it toss the foe backwards from the side, its up throw would have it just toss the foe straight upwards into the air, and its down throw would have it do a quick flip, then slam the foe with its tail. And Kangaskhan's pummel would have it so that the baby punches the foe as the mother holds onto them. Its forward throw would have it just toss the foe forwards, its back throw would have it toss the foe backwards from overhead, its up throw would have it punch the foe a few times, then uppercut them into the air, and its down throw would have it hold the foe down while the baby jumps on its face and flails at them, then the mother would push the foe away as the baby jumps back into the pouch. For Rhydon's neutral special attack, it would be the devastating one-hit KO move, Horn Drill. It would be a very slow to start up attack where Rhydon would thrust its head forwards as its horn spins. It would have a lot of launch power and deals high damage, and it's guaranteed to break shields. A high risk, high reward move where you won't be landing it too often if the foe is competent enough, but if it does land, it's an easy KO. Nidoking's neutral special would be Poison Sting. Nidoking would do a quick jab with the horn on its forehead straight forwards. If it hits a foe, it will effectively poison them. They'll take damage over time for a little while, as if they were affected by Lipstick. Kangaskhan's neutral special would be the attack Rage. It will act as a semi-manual kind of buffer. When you use the move, Kangaskhan will activate its effects, where if it's hit by an attack after it uses the move, all of its basic attacks will be slightly powered up, having all of its attacks deal an additional 1% of damage. That may not seem like much, but these effects can stack. If you press the neutral special attack again after it gets the first power-up, it will gain another power-up once it's hit again afterwards. It can keep gaining these buffs as many times as it wants. The effects of the buff will disappear and return Kangaskhan to normal power if it is switched out, or if it uses a different special attack. Just like how in game, the effects of Rage go away when you use another move. I'm actually kinda salty, because this attack sounds kinda like Incineroar's Revenge Down special in Ultimate, but I thought of this idea for Kangaskhan before Incineroar was even revealed, so Sakura is actually out here kill-stealing my ideas like the absolute legend that he is. Anyways, Rhydon's side special would be Fury Attack, which would act as a command rapid jab. Rhydon will begin furiously stabbing with his horn straight forwards over and over again very quickly, and will keep going until the button is let go, ending it with a strong finisher attack. Nidoking's side special would be the attack Earth Power. Nidoking would have it cause a spot in front of itself to erupt in flames and rock straight upwards vertically. It would go about as high as Nidoking itself. The distance away from Nidoking that the spot erupts depends on how long the button is held down. The longer the button is held down, the farther it will go. Mechanically, it works similar to Zelda's side special, but it can only be used on the ground. Nidoking can still use it in the air, but it'll always erupt from the ground. And the attack will only go as far as the edge of the stage that Nidoking is facing. And Kangaskhan's side special would be Dizzy Punch, a kind of slow to start up move where Kangaskhan does a quick punch forward, and anyone hit by this move will have their controls reversed for a little while, as if they were confused. Rhydon's up special would be the attack Drill Run, where it will have Rhydon spin its whole body with its horn in the front of the attack, and it can fly into any direction based on player input. It has a lot of power, but it doesn't go very far. Nidoking's up special would be Stomping Tantrum. It would have Nidoking do 2 quick low stomps that cause the ground to shake, tripping any foe near it. Then it would do a higher leap, and then come crashing down, dealing big damage to any foe hit by Nidoking, and causing smaller damage to any foe standing on the ground close to where it lands. Nidoking will only do a single high jump if it uses this attack in the air. And Kangaskhan's up special would be Sucker Punch. It would very quickly move into any upwards direction, then punch upwards at the peak of the movement. Kangaskhan is completely invincible for the duration of the movement up to right before it punches. And the down B, of course, is Pokemon Change. The order of the change is Rhydon, to Nidoking, to Kangaskhan, then back to Rhydon. For Giovanni's final smash, none of his Pokemon will actually be directly involved. Instead, he'll be taking advantage of the fact that he's a mob boss of one of the largest criminal organizations in the world. He'll return whoever's out, then snap his fingers. Suddenly, a ton of Team Rocket grunts will appear out of nowhere and start releasing a lot of Pokemon that will barrage and completely envelop the entire stage, all constantly attacking and dealing a lot of damage to everyone on the stage unless they're awesome at dodging. The smash ends when Giovanni snaps his fingers again, and all the grunts return their Pokemon and retreat. Then Giovanni will call his Pokemon back out. The Pokemon that will be mobbing the stage will be of the following: a bunch of Rattata and Raticate who will run back and forth on the ground very quickly, all dealing small flinching damage to any foe caught by them. Some Ekans and Arbok who will slither on the ground at moderate speed and do quick bites towards any foe who gets too close to them. These bites can launch foes very far. A few Grimer and Muck who will move very slowly on the ground and deal poison damage to any foe who gets too close to them. A bunch of Zubat and Golbat who fly around erratically in the air. The Zubat deals small flinching damage to anyone they hit, and the Golbat will launch foes with their large bites. And finally, some Coughing and Wheezing, who will very slowly move around from side to side in the air, emitting smoke that will deal poison damage to anyone who gets too close. For the colors, by default, Giovanni will be in his signature black business suit, which is the alt that will have his Pokemon in their default usual colors. He will have a second outfit where he wears the trench coat that we see him wear in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. His Pokemon in this alt will have darker hues. Here's him in an orange suit, in reference to the suit that he wears in the Pokemon anime. His Pokemon will have orange hues. Here's him in a blue trench coat, with his Pokemon having blue hues, based off his executive admin Archer. A white suit with white hues for his Pokemon, based off the white outfits that the admins wear. A maroon colored coat with red hues for his Pokemon, based off his executive admin Ariana. A dark gray suit with the R symbol in a rainbow color, in reference to the outfit that he wears when he leaves Rainbow Rocket in Pokemon Ultra Sun Ultra Moon. His Pokemon will have yellow hues for this halt. And finally, a green trench coat that gives his Pokemon green hues, based off his admin Proton. Their stage entrance will of course be just like Red's, having Giovanni already being on the stage and just summons whichever Pokemon he's starting with. In fact, this will pretty much be the stage intro for all future Pokemon trainers that I do, so I don't see much reason to really bring them up again in future videos unless I make a specific change. For taunts, all three Pokemon's first taunt would be animations from Pokemon Stadium. Rhydon would have it jump up in place, then spin its horn, Nidoking would jump, then roar to the sky, and Kangaskhan would have its baby crawl into the mother's head as she roars forward with the baby riding on her head, then it jumps back into the pouch. For the second of their taunts, Rhydon would stomp both of its feet one after the other, an animation that we see it do in Pokemon Refresh. Nidoking would flex its arms, an animation that we see it do in the Pokemon Crystal sprites, and Kangaskhan would have the baby jump up and down excitedly in the pouch until the mother calms it down, an animation that it has in the 3D Pokemon games. For the final taunts, Rhydon would just roar forwards, Nidoking would gyrate its whole body while it wags its tail from side to side, and Kangaskhan would have both the mother and the baby roar forwards, an animation that we see it do in Pokemon Refresh. And finally, for the victory animations, the first would have Giovanni chuckle a little bit while putting his hands into his pockets. Rhydon would roar to the sky while its horn spins, then do a pose akin to the sprite from Pokemon Yellow. Nidoking would flex its arms, then do a pose akin to its yellow sprites as well. And Kangaskhan would just have the baby climb up to the mother's shoulders, and it would just sit there as the mother spots it. The second victory animation will have Giovanni just turn around, then glare back at the camera in a sinister means, and say, "Team Rocket will never fall." Rhydon would walk on screen in front of Giovanni and just give a threatening glare as it slowly spins its horn. Nidoking would first look at Giovanni, then punch the ground towards the screen, and Kangaskhan would have the baby run in from off screen and start roaring. Then the mother would walk in from behind and glare at the camera threateningly. And for the final victory animation, I obviously don't see Giovanni hugging or doing anything like that to congratulate or interact with his Pokemon. Instead, he would just return them to the Pokeball, then he'll just sit down into a chair that's randomly behind them, then toss the Pokeball into the air over and over while giving a sneering smile, and say, "All the world's Pokemon will be mine." Also, his Persian will be laying next to his chair, because that's only appropriate. And that does it for the big bad crime boss himself. There are many, many more Pokemon trainers to come. So just as a reminder, or if you're new to the channel, I would like to have every fourth video I do from this point on be over a Pokemon trainer. So if you'd like to see a specific trainer be done in the future, or of course, your favorite character in general, leave a comment down below, or contact me on Twitter at BrawlFan1 on Twit. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching!